Hello, this is I Go Travel with Don Barnett. We're going back to old-time coal mining, long before the days they had hard hats or eye safety glasses. Back in the days when they dug the coal out of dark, dangerous tunnels by hand and hauled it out by horses. The mine that we're going to take a look at is near Fernie, British Columbia, and it was called the Coal Creek Mine.
Hello, this is Elk Valley Conversations. I'm Helmut Emmert.
The fella that took Helmut through the old Coal Creek Mine area was a guy who had worked all his life at the Coal Creek Mine back in those early days. The fella's name is Bill Milburn. And Bill told me that, you know how we often think of the old tunnel mining coal mines, it was dirty work, it was dangerous work, terrible, difficult, hard work. But you know, for the young people back in those days, they never saw it that way at all. Young guys like Bill Milburn couldn't wait to get into the mine to work, just like their dad had done. And Bill told me that, I forget the ages exactly, but if you had to be 16 years old to work in the mine, Bill was a big fella, big kid for his age. And he told me that he lied to the mine. He told them he was 16 and he was only 14 years of age. Because like the other boys in those days, they just couldn't. It was an honor. It was a privilege, exciting to go and work in the coal mine.
Thank everybody that looked at the show and enjoyed it of Coal Creek, as this is the last one.
We are in the coal country of southeastern British Columbia, near the city of Fernie. And we're going to look at one of the very earliest coal mines in the area, the Coal Creek Mine. And it was near the Morrissey mine nearby, where they moved the Morrissey houses. You'll hear us say in the video, they moved the Morrissey cottages over to Coal Creek in later years. But this whole Elk River Valley is the richest coal area in the country. And if you take Highway 3 from Alberta over to the east here, you come to Sparwood, and then you come down the Elk Valley to Fernie, and there's a little creek, Coal Creek it's called, that flows from the mountains into Fernie and into the Elk River at Fernie. And that is one of the earliest mines when they used horses to haul the coal out of the mine. And they dug the coal out with shovels and picks. There were numerous tunnels like this one at Coal Creek. How would you like to go to work by crawling into this dark hole? The rope pulled a trailer loaded with coal out of the mine that was then taken to the loading area or tipple to be treated before being loaded onto a train car. In those days, the coal was taken by rail to Seattle area, where it became the main source of energy that industrialized the American Pacific Northwest. Today, most of the coal, rich coal from the Elk Valley is shipped to Japan. It's all bush and overgrown with trees now, but at one time, Coal Creek was a thriving coal mining community.
That is going up to One East Mine. It started in 1910 and it closed when Coal Creek closed down. And if you look a little bit farther along on the left-hand side of where that shed goes up to One East, you will see Morrissey cottages. And Morrissey cottages, them cottages were brought in pieces from Morrissey and then they were put together up there.
Let's follow Bill Milburn and Helmut as they trumped around the overgrown bush and found some remains of things like the old powerhouse area and some machinery that at one time was a big mining operation.
Now I'm going to show you a picture that was taken in 1957. And that was when the bush took over and there was no more mining up above Coal Creek except the Elk River collieries. Now they pulled the powerhouse over a little bit because it was a cement building to use for a machine shop for fixing the equipment in the bush. And all the little shacks that you've seen around there is what they had the guys staying in that worked in the bush. Right now, we're not far from Slavtown, but we're right to the, if you look at my right, we're on the right hand side of the tipple. And this place here is where they used to repair the cars and the dinkies. And in a few minutes you're going to see where they had a big hole where the guys used to be able to go underneath them and fix them up. If you look, you will see like a hole underneath where the cars and the dinky could go on the top, and then the mechanic could go underneath and see if anything is wrong under there or fix it, because they're too heavy to lift. Right now we are looking at a smokestack that came from the boilers at one time. There was about 4 or 5 of these used to stick up from the boiler plant. And this will give you an idea on how big they were.
These 4 pictures are pictures taken of a mine above Slavtown. It takes you about 20 minutes to walk up to where these items are still at. The one that is all smashed up and caved in, that used to be the hoist room. The one that has got the windows in it, and you can still see it, and it was standing a year ago, that one there is where the fireball shack used to be, where you used to go and report before you went in the mine, and you reported when you come out, so that they would know that you weren't in the mine anymore. And the other two pictures are of a drum that used to be on the hoist. And they were pictures they were the drums that came out of that hoist room at one time or another. And that is what is left up there now.
And you'll see the tipple, and you will see some Morrissey Cottages houses, and you will see a snow shed going up to 1 East Mine. And on the other side of the creek there is a flat straight across to my right. And on that flat, that's where the doctor's house used to be. Going across, there was a bridge going across. And that was the only house that was left at the end, and that's where I lived. Right after the mine closed down, we moved out, and there was about 10 feet of snow up here.
I can say when I lived in the doctor's house, we had a furnace and indoor plumbing, and it was comfortable. And this is a picture of a clock that was given to me after my grandparents passed away, and that is in the sitting room, and it is still running 104 years later. Now, in the olden days, you didn't get toys bought like you do now. What you had was a wagon made out of a box and just wheels put on it, and then you had a pair of snowshoes, and you had a toboggan. And if you look, there's a little cross there. When you got older, you had to saw the wood for the house, and that's what that little cross is.
Bill told the Helmut more about the mine area as they walked around the old site.
All right, we're above the tipple now. And above the office, and we're on the yard where it used to be where they used to put the empties to go underneath the tipple to get loaded. And we're going to show you a picture of before the tipple going across, a few cars that are empty ready to go underneath the tipple, and also that there will be the office, the wash house, And you'll see little pigeon things on top of the wash house and the lamp cabin where they used to get the lamps for the mine. And then there used to be a bridge coming across right above the office, go right across the tracks, and it used to go up the hill on the other side by the mountain. And it used to go up to the club, the store, and top side where the boarding house and a bunch of more houses were. Now, I am standing right on the right-hand side of the club, looking up towards the boarding house and down towards the club on my left. Right now I'm looking at the cement forms that used to be where the bar used to be. This club used to have billiard tables, a card room, and a bar, and up the top used to be a dance hall. And in the back of the club on the top they used to have a gym. Right now what's left of it, all it is just the foundation of the cement work. They used to hold dances up in the top of the story of the club. And the women also used to play whist up there. And sometimes they used to come down and get some men to go up to help them out up there, so that they would have more people playing whist. They had a great big dance hall up in the top of the club on the top story that they used to have lots of dances. And in the back they had a place that the women could make sandwiches and coffee and stuff like that. They also had concerts up in the top around Christmas time. To my left, we'll try and take some remains after of the boarding house. And we'll show you a picture of it. And we'll show you also a picture of what there is now left. After about 55 years after it closed. I'm standing now right where the store used to be. The store was a double, like there was downstairs and upstairs that's where the people lived that run the store. The store was owned by Trice Woods Company. And the store used to sell everything that you needed, and it also had a post office on one end of it. All right, we're going to take a picture of the wall at the far end of the club facing down towards the tipple. And them days they used to make it out of rock and then some kind of cement them together. After we will show you the basement where it was at, and also show you a safe that come out of the store and it's still there. Now, this is the safe. It's getting all overgrown now, and you'll see the door of a little cement thing a little cement building they had in the basement that they kept all the papers from the store in. Okay, now we're going to show you a picture in 2004 of the way it looks now. Now we're going to show you a picture of the way it looked before, about 1920. And we're taking the picture straight up the same road. All the trees have grown in now. I'm standing right on the football field, and you'll see me standing there when I was about 2 or 3 years old, and you see me standing here now. This football field, they used to have teams coming in from Michelle, Kimberley, and all over those little places like that. when I was small years ago. And it was a wonderful time we had. They used to have picnics up here for Cold Creek people. Straight up to where I'm pointing up there, there's a trail going up about a quarter of a mile. And that will take you up to a swimming hole that is up there that they used after they closed the big swimming pool that picture down below French Camp. And I'll show you a picture of people up there in the olden days, and then I'll show you a picture of the way it looks now. There's not much difference. And it's a quarter of a mile up from the football field. Okay, we have just come down from the football field, but I want to tell you one more little thing about that. Bill Brown, he passed away a little while back, and I would like to give him credit for the hard work that he put in organizing the Cold Creek picnic that was held on the football field for quite a few years. Right now we're standing on the High Line that the train used to bring up the supplies for this side of the tipple to go into the mine. And then we're going to swing across the creek. And we have a picture of 1, 2, 3.5 houses over there that are on the low bottom. They're bottom row houses. And then we're going to go a little higher up. And you're going to see, but you're not going to see it, but it's all with trees and everything, because don't forget, this is about it's over 50 years, just about 50 years later. You're going to see where the school was, the Catholic Church, and the United Church on the left, and them are the houses that you see above bottom row houses, and then you're going to see lots of little houses, which is Morrissey cottages.
This is me standing in front of a house up at Morrissey Cottages, one of the last houses that were left up there. They were the houses that were brought from Morrissey in sections. This is the last house on Morrissey Cottages, below the cliff, where number 8 mine was, and where the rock comes out off the mountains right now.
Now we're looking on the right hand side of the creek, coming up. That used to be the railroad track to the new tipple. And on my right, you will see a bunch of where the rock was dumped. The rock was dumped on the top with a chute. And I was one of the first ones to put a car of rock over that and tip it down, with other guys too. But I was one of the first. And so we had about 3 guys outside working. And that would be in 1944. Okay, right now we were going to show you, straight up above me, a picture of the tipple, the way it used to be. Now this is the new tipple that goes right across from one side of there, where I'm looking, just about across to the creek. Don't go quite to the creek. It's also going to show you the tracks and the yard and a couple of cars that are loaded at the tipple. And you'll also see the smokestacks going up that belonged to the boiler plant that was there. Because see, when everything moved on from Cold Creek, they moved everything. Even the powerhouse and the boilers and everything come down here. And that's what it looks like. Right now you might be looking and you'll see some of the yard where the tracks are at. There was just about 5 set of tracks. We're looking down the yard, the train yard, where all the tracks used to be, that used to hold the empty cars to go down to the tipple. And on the picture you will see 1 or 2 cars on each track that are going to get loaded. And I'm standing right at the bridge, except that the road used to be a little more to my left at one time. And this is what we call the top of the yard for the tipple. Now we're going to show you way above the tipple where the train tracks used to, what we call the yard, where they used to put the empties. But if you look straight over from the same way as I'm looking, that used to be Welsh camp straight across from French camp in the olden days.
Bill talked about the high walking bridge that was built over the railway tracks.
And you go up and you go over the track to where they come and switch up to go down. Okay. And when you come up here to go there, you go up here on top side. Mm-hmm. And that, you see, they had more brains in the old days than they got now. Because so nobody would get hurt on that track, they put the bridge over there. Way high. To go up to there instead of having kids or people or women, because you're going to go there, and you're going to walk down to the store instead of walking that track up to the store. Right. That went right up to that road that we went going to the football field. Right. And then you walk down that road to the store and you come back, or the kids are going to school, they come over here, come down here and go to school. We're just coming up past French camp towards where the bridge is, where we cross over to go up on the other side of the creek. And the big flat on the other side of the creek is what we called Welsh camp. There was about 13 or 14 houses over there on that flat. And they were closed down really early because people were moving out and the coal company needed that land. And this is where the bridge went across, and then you went to the left, and then you went up towards Coal Creek, and then we will show you another picture of used to be the boss's houses, but there's no houses there now. All it is just a bunch of scrap. Right now we're at start of the yard where they used to keep all the loaded cars that were loaded at the tipple. If you look up to my left, you will see where the tipple goes right across the valley. And if you look below, just about where I'm at, years ago, that's where the track was, and you'll see loaded cars. And down into the right of the tipple, my right, close to the creek, is where the barn was. And I used to work in the barn as a horseshoer. Right now, we're standing just above the barn, maybe 20 feet where the barn used to be. By looking at the original picture of the barn, you will see how it was all flat, and there was a big opening just above where the big door is on the barn. Okay, what we can see here, what we're looking at, is a piece of a dump cart. It's just the iron part of it, because they used to be made out of wood. And they used to use it for getting ashes from all the houses in Coal Creek with one horse, and one guy used to drive it, and then he would dump all the ashes into this dump cart and take it over to the ash dump. And when we were kids, we used to ride around with them. Just about where I'm standing is just about where the blacksmith shop used to be, where you shoed the horses. And I used to shoe the horses for the last couple of years. I am standing right now just about where the wash house was. This is where the men used to wash they come out of the mine and come here, put their lamps in, then come here, then get washed. But one time when we were kids, they had the wash houses built right by each house. And the men used to come, and then they would heat the water to get hot on a little stove in the wash house that they had by their house. And they used to get these little wash tubs. We'll show you a picture of the wash tub. And they used to get these little wash tubs and have two. One was for washing in and one was for rinsing yourself off with. And that's what they did in this wash house for a little while, until they decided they were going to put showers, and then they made a shower room for them. To my left, if you look, you'll see some foundation, some cement in that. In that, there used to be a building there right below the office, is where they used to keep the powder. So that, and the powder was used in the mine to blow, so that they could blow the coal. But the only thing was why they had it so protected was they used to have the door locked and everything, and there was a powder man used to give the powder out to the miners in the morning or in the afternoon, whatever shift they were on, and they only were allotted so much.
Bill showed a picture of the nice swimming pool they had at Coal Creek.
When the swimming pool was going full swing, they used to have competitions down at the swimming pool. And if you look, you will see all the people all on the edge of the swimming pool watching and waiting for the competitions to start. And then we will show you a picture of the swimming pool the way it is now. All it is the creek running down.
And the outdoor skating rink was a popular place during the long, heavy snowfall winters.
And right there, that flat right here, that's where the rink was.
And Bill said that hockey and skating was a popular winter activity.
Now, this picture that we're showing now is a picture of the women's hockey team of Coal Creek. And another one thing I want to say is, the gentleman that's in the middle of the picture is Dr. Workman, and he was the doctor at Coal Creek for 35 to 40 years. Up Coal Creek, they used to have lots of first aid teams, and this is the ladies' first aid team that, and the picture is taken in Fernie at a competition. And don't forget, the first aid teams of Coal Creek, even though it was small, also won lots of prizes in first aid. The last picture we got here is a picture of the last classes that were at Coal Creek. The school was closed down when Coal Creek was closing down. And these students here are the last students that ever went to school in Coal Creek. The school got ripped down after that. Coal Creek was like one big happy family. And it used to be nice to see that the older women used to walk from house to house and stand beside the fences and tell stories to each other.
I knew both those guys, Bill and Helmut, and they were great guys. A special thanks to them for producing this video. And they were salt of the earth kinds of fellas, and it was a privilege for me to be able to work a little bit with them on these videos, and they're terrific guys. And hit the subscribe button. That'll tell you when we're coming back and putting more videos on the internet. And we'll be doing that on a regular basis. This is I Go Travel with Don Barnett. We'll see ya down the trail. To find more videos, just Google, like it says in the bottom part there. Google, start with the little @ sign, at Don Barnett 5090. Then click on my name and hit playlists in the middle of the page and scroll down. Each playlist contains several travel videos.